Hello, fellow programming engineers. Welcome back once more to this drives course. And today we're going to be configuring a new variator. Which variator are we talking about? We're talking about the HNC brand. And this is a model 380. Okay, so here we go. So, sorry, 390. Not 380, but 390. Okay? So let's watch something. We already configured a drive for the Delta drive, which is a Thai part from Thailand. And then Yaskawa, which is Japanese. And HNC, where is that from? This is Chinese, which frankly, their products are not expensive. And they're also coming in very strong to our Latin American market, as people have always done from China. Okay, this is an exception in the automation part. They're really going for this part of the project or this project. So that's why they have pretty competitive pricing. And the way that they can configure the drive is basically the same thing. Okay? So in the end, we're going to be looking into our drive PowerFlex 525, which is an American company, or well, North American company from the US. Okay, so let's start this off. Now, what are we looking for? So we're going to our parameter part so that we can then enter them here. And remember that you already have your manual on the resource part on this course. Okay, so you guys can look for it on your own if you wish. You can pause the video. And in the end, you can fast forward if you wish. Or you can follow me in the process on how I found these parameters, which I consider to be correct. So in the end, we're going to compare them. And you're going to enter your results. Okay? Now, we have our installation part for the inverter or the drive. And we also have the wiring of the inverter. Now, you've seen that on the search part, for example, for the 3-wire and the 2-wire, etc., those have been done directly by looking through the document in the manual. It's one way to do it. But we also need to consider the inverter part. So in this section, we can generally know how the 2-wire connection is or the 3-wire connection. Okay? Now, I'd also like that we look for it this way. Connection, description. It could be this one. Terminal wiring. Let's see here. Let's look for this. If we can find it here. So I don't think they added this. It's not showing up. And here we also have our parameter part, which we're going to be looking for. And we're going to go to our previous manual. So 3-wire. It's not showing up, and it's a bit weird. It's a bit strange, but here it is. Here we do have it. Okay? Now, what section was this in? Well, this was in the middle pages. So if you find the 3-wire and the 2-wire part, if you already looked for the keywords and you don't see it, you don't find it, Remember that some manuals have on the wiring or the connection part, generally the I/O part is where these options appear. Just in case this ever happens to you. And I think in the Allen Bradley part, as far as I can remember, this is the only way to find them. This is the easiest way to find them. So we're going to see in the future to see if we can find this. Now we also have our I/O terminal part for our 2-line. Okay, so it's 2 wires. Very simple, back and forth, but I want to find the pair, which is something that we can't use here. But here, we can use it. The 3-wire operation mode. We have the stop and our run part, and we have our reverse. So therefore, we should be able to use this configuration. Now, and also, which parameter is being used. So let's see here. So, to select this, or to select our 3-wire part, we should be able to define this way. Our DI1 should be as forward, DI2 is defined as reverse, and our K is used for direction, okay, which is something that we're going to see further down. And we're going to write down how this works. Now this is set as closed, as stop, and we're going to define this. Okay. Now this is figure number 16, that's 619. So I'm just analyzing this, guys. Give me 1 second, please. So run, reverse, 2-line, this is the figure 818, figure 619. So there's 2 types of operations. 2 types of operations for the 3-wire part. In mode number 1, we have this option, which is the one that we've already been using previously, at least. But I want you guys to notice something. There's another possible 3-wire configuration. Now, what's the difference? We already shared our common one for our normally closed button, which we had already connected in our first variator. And I showed you guys how to do it. And then we have our regularly open for which matches our reverse. And they both share the same one, which matches the input for DI with, capital D, capital I with non-capital I. Okay, so this is the most common part. But there's another possibility, which is wiring them independently. Now, not all drives have this configuration, okay? Not all of them, or not every manual explain this, because in drives, this is not handled. So if you have this, then you should be able to decide which option to use this in, okay? So in this case, we're going to be using this option so that we don't get into trouble. Now we're going to change to our other Allen Bradley option, because in Allen Bradley, they're asking for a connection of this type. So we're going to be looking into this in our PowerFlex. But in the meantime, we're going to be using this. I want to use operation mode number 1, okay? Which is 619. But I am looking for which parameters are the ones that I'm going to be using. So here it's telling us that it is D, capital I, and we can find this independently, but we have to find the parameter. So 3-wire, okay, 3-wire. It's probably that same parameter, but here it is. So it's P6 0 0. Let's see if this is true. Here we go. So it's up here. So P600, and it's allowing us to use a range between 0 and 3, which in this case, I want the mode 1 option. So therefore, this is 0, this is 1, and this is a 2, apparently. This is a 3. So let's test it out as is. Let's see if this is true. Now, what are we defining? Our digital input connection. They need to be equal to 2. So supposedly, from my understanding, from what I understood in the manual, so you guys run your operations and compare this. This is what I consider. Now, what else is next? It says that in that case, if it's this option, we should start defining or setting the digital inputs as 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so let's see here. In our 919 figure, BI1, which is both of them, it should be defined as running forward. BI2 set as reverse. And our K, let's suppose that, say that this is our, okay, this is our wildcard. This is for reverse, this is for selection. And our stop is already set. So I'm going to copy it as such. Okay? So I'm going to copy it as such. And our stop is regular, normally closed. So I'm not seeing where the stop is, but I'm going to copy it up, or all the way up to here, which says DLI or D capital DI with I means that it should be set up as a control terminal for 3-wire. So I'm going to copy all this. Okay, and then in a little while we're going to test this out. Okay, so we already have 2. These are our digital inputs. Okay, so according to our 3-wire system, we have this other option. And then we have our control reference. Okay, so control source. So control source, no. Command. Let's see here. Run command. Let's see here, which parameter is going to be set. It's not, I'm not getting anything. So then we're going to go to our general parameters. So keyboard wiring, parameter list. Here we go. So I imagine that you guys already saw this. These are our function parameters, our most basic parameters. They can start as like this if you can't find the keyword part. Okay, so here we go. Running command selection. But these would be our general frequency from where it's coming from. Now this is the velocity part, okay? So this is the velocity. Ready? Again, it's a finger slip. Here it is. Again, our keyword is PCO.03. Now, supposedly, we should use this drive because it doesn't have the potentiometer, the potency meter. It doesn't have it. An internal potency meter. They should all be external. But we could use them or change the frequency with our 0, with our P0.03 equals 0. So with this, we would change our frequency right from the keyboard. So this is only to adjust. Or our other option says that it's with our upwards or downwards keyboard. So we're going to test each of them. And if they don't work, we're going to use our other option. Okay, to identify them. 0 or 4. Okay. Okay, now our other option is the start option. Let's see where we wish to control this from. Through our keypad. And here we go. These are our external terminals. Or through our keypad or the keyboard, which has already been internal from the drive. These are the external ones that we need. So these are P0.01, when this equals to 1. Now the other option is our communication part, and it has an RS485, which is a serial port. This is the drive communication part. And our other option is through our keyboard. Okay, now what is missing? We're missing our parameters that we need to enter for our motor. Okay, so motor parameter, auxiliary parameters, which we don't need for now. Let's look for this. Let's check this out. Let's continue looking for this, or directly from our manual index. We're going to look for this here, motor parameter. Okay. Well, basically, these parameters are the ones that we need. For our P, here we have our potency, our frequency, and our speed. Here we have our auto tune. Okay. And we're going to enter our most important ones. Remember, it's these ones. We have more options, remember, but basically, we're entering the ones that we need. Voltage, current, potency, velocity. Okay. There's no potency factor. I can't see it. If you can find it, add it, please. So it's P300, P3.00 to P3.05 or 04. Let's enter all of them that they're asking us for in the manual. Okay. So basically with this, we have everything ready to run our configuration in our manual. So comparing the results, or if you compare the results of what we got through this class with your own results, okay? So with this, we are through with this video, and we're gonna go straight to configuring. Thank you very much, guys.